Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome to the first installment of a brand new series on my channel. It's not a FIFA series as you'd be more familiar with. This is a podcast, a once-a-week podcast, which I'm super excited to bring you every single Friday. But I'm not on my own for this podcast. I have a guest with me, and he'll be appearing every single week alongside me on this podcast. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Ben?
All right, it's me, Dr. Ben GFM. Some of you might recognise the voice. Probably not all of you, though. So, hi, yeah, I do Football Manager videos. Did you want me to say that? Was that a bit quick? I feel like I've gone too early.
That was fine. That was fine. It's okay. I've done a bit of it myself, so people are used to it.
It was a bit forward. I do Football Manager videos, by the way. But no, yeah, we're doing a podcast. You introduced me there as a guest. I consider myself the alpha male host. But if you want to go with guest, that's fine.
Guest, alpha male host, not much of a difference. I mean, you know.
One sounds way less good. I think the alpha male host sounds better, so I'm going with that. So if you want to title that now, I mean, in fact, forget Ben, just alpha male host could do
alpha
for now.
Alpha male host, yeah. I'll reference you as alpha male host from now on. Fine.
Yeah. So we're doing a podcast, so we could find out more about you, because I think you know your audience quite well, but they don't know you that well. And this is the sort of podcast that will get that out of you. We're going to find out, because I think you're very opinionated, Jay. I'm concerned. Are we going with Jay, by the way? Is that what we're going to be now?
Jay's fine. Let's go with Jay for this.
I'm going with Jay. Well. Yeah, we're getting rid of that docs nonsense. I don't even understand it. Does anybody understand it? We'll go with Jay. So yeah, we're gonna talk about all sorts of different things, aren't we? Life, football, all sorts of laddie banter, but not that laddie or bantery. Just general.
So not laddie banter at all.
No,
really.
just general chat. Yeah, it's not as good.
Sure.
So yeah, shall we kick things off with a topic, and then we'll just go from there. Really,
let's go straight into it.
I mean, artificial intelligence. Sorry, I'd just like to reference the name again. It's good, isn't it?
The name?
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
Would you like to explain why it's good?
Well, there's a few reasons. Firstly, we both play against the AI in our games. Football Manager. Mm-hmm. You do FIFA, career mode. People are still watching that?
It's good.
Oh, I mean, it's
good.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. So we both play against the AI, and also you're sort of intelligent, aren't you? I
mean, yes. I would say so. I would say I'm intelligent.
Yeah, I would say artificially so. So there we are. We'll see though. It's just a joke, everyone. It's just there. I told you, laddie banter.
Yeah. It's my channel, and already the joke is at my expense within 5 minutes.
I will say I'm having a great time. Right then, so shall we kick things off with a topic? We're going to talk a little bit about just the football experience, Jay, because you've recently been to some football matches, haven't you?
Yeah, I went to 2 away games, both last Saturdays.
Oh, who do you support?
Who do I support?
Yeah.
Do I have to drop it already?
I feel like people are best off knowing, just so we can judge you for your choices.
All right, well, I am a proud Millwall fan.
Oh,
I'm a proud Millwall supporter.
We found one, everyone. Here he is. So yeah, you went to 2 away games then?
Yes, last Saturday and the Saturday before. First was Bolton away at the Macron, and last Saturday was Derry away from home as well.
Is the Bolton ground nice? Because Bolton was they were a Premier League stalwart for a while, weren't they? And they had quite the Reebok. It's not called that anymore though.
No, it's called the Macron Stadium now.
What is Macron?
It's a kit sponsor, I think.
Oh yeah, I understand it would be a kit sponsor. I'm saying, what is the sponsorship? Okay, you can see what I mean, folks. Right, so we don't know what Macron is. It sounds a bit like macaroon, the nuts, but it's not a nut. I can't imagine Bolton sponsored by nuts.
It's a nice ground, though. In answer to your question, it is a nice ground. It's very nice. The stadium, I remember, was when it was called the Reebok, because Bolton were a Premier League side back in the day, and they had a Europa League run in there as well.
Yeah, they did.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So I was always excited to go there, because it's a nice little ground. It's an easy trip for me away from home as well. But just in general, the football experience for me, like going to away games, like it's one of the best things for me, an away game. Like a home game is good. I like going to home games. I like going to the Den. But now I go to away games far more regularly than home games now. And I think like the main reason I really like going to football is just the atmosphere. The atmosphere of the fans, the atmosphere is just absolutely electric. But I think there is a difference between lower league and Premier League, and that's why I think you'd be quite good to discuss this with, because obviously you support a Premier League side.
I do, yeah. Which is Liverpool.
Yes, brilliant.
And this is one of those seasons where it's quite nice to talk about Liverpool because we're playing quite well. Are you an early ground goer? Do you like to get there early? I like to be there like 2 hours before. I'm not joking.
This is really interesting. 'Cause it's a complete polar opposite to me.
Really? You like to just get in, start singing? Is that
Absolutely.
I like to be there 2 hours before. You know, I might even have lunch there if I feel like it, and soak it all up. The few times I've been to Wembley as well, I'm very much like that. Whether it's been England or Liverpool, I've been there a few times. I've seen Liverpool play there. Seen Millwall play at Wembley?
Yeah, a few times. FA Cup semi-final v Wigan, a couple playoff finals as well. I didn't actually go to the last playoff final this year.
Wow.
But I went to the previous two, and Wembley's just a lovely ground. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely beautiful.
That is one of the most perfect grounds to get there early at. But generally, I do like it, whether I'm seeing sort of Liverpool at Anfield or any football game. I just like to be there nice and early. I like to get settled. I like to see, I don't know what it is, I like to see a ground get full. That for me is one of the best parts of live football, because you see it and it's basically empty, and then there's like that minute before kickoff and it is just heaving, and that is a lovely sort of. But I guess in terms of live football, that is my favourite point, when it fills up and everyone's sort of, there's that excitement, isn't there, of this is about to start, and then there's always that roar as the whistle goes, and it's
absolutely.
like, that's such a lovely moment.
Well, I used to like going early, but that was mainly when I went with my family as a group. We'd go early and we'd make a day of it, you know what I mean? We make a day of the day.
Well, you're a Millwall fan, so fight in the morning.
Brilliant.
What would you do after that? Fight in the morning, police station in the afternoon, and then if they let you out on time, you go down to the game.
Just an average Saturday, really.
Just an average Saturday, yeah.
But we'd go there, we'd have lunch in the Millwall Cafe, and then we'd go and watch because especially when I was a kid, as a teenager.
The Millwall Cafe?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an original name, isn't it? How'd they think of that one? The Millwall Cafe. All right, yeah, go on.
It's lovely. You used to have a nice little pie and chips in there. But what I used to like as a teenager when I go with my dad and my uncle and their family friend as well, is that when we go into the ground, because we used to get in there early, when we go into the ground, as a kid, as a teenager, because I used to play football a lot.
Yeah.
I used to love watching the warm-ups. You know, I used to love watching the goalkeeper training, because you, like myself, used to play in goal.
Yeah.
And it's weird that I have these memories, but I can remember like watching us play against Leeds, I think it was, when Kasper Schmeichel played for him.
That's a dangerous game.
And
just generally. Oh, dearie me.
I just love watching like Kasper Schmeichel warm up, and obviously for us it would be 40 back then. I used to love watching the keepers warm up, and it was like the same as you. I liked watching the ground get fuller and get to its capacity. Well, with Millwall, you know, enough of a capacity.
Yeah. One end would get full. I mean, you watch that end with, you know, looking at that end going, God, look at that end's nearly full.
That corner's filling in nicely.
Yeah, look at you left and you right going, oh, I don't know, it must be late, the bus must broke down. Oh, dearie me, they'll be here.
But it was great just to watch the warm-ups, and then as soon as the players came out, the roar, the anticipation, the buzz, and as soon as kickoff came, and you know, again, for a big game like Leeds, definitely, the atmosphere would just be electric. And again, that's why I love the away games too, because when we go away from home, we may not take the biggest crowds. At Bury, we had about 400, I think it was. But you have this sense of togetherness with the fans in the away end, always. It's this sense of collective agreement that, you know, we are as one supporting our club. And whether we're inconsistent in form, like right now or not, you just have this unity, and it's just wonderful. And the experience is fantastic. And you can't replicate, especially I feel in lower league football as well, you can't replicate that in any other country in Europe. Lower league football, the football pyramid in this country is something like none other in the world.
Yeah, we're quite lucky. We're quite lucky to have it in many ways. Like you look at other countries, and they just don't have the depth of just supportership at that level. Whereas we go down to like the conference, and you're still seeing like there's occasions. I think last year they had like a 15,000 capacity for like a Grimsby Lincoln game or something like that.
Yeah,
they're packing it in, and I mean there's top level sides in divisions that don't get that. Like you look at Bournemouth currently in the Premier League. They can't fill that. They haven't got that many seats. Yeah. So it's crazy to see it work all the way down. You see a team like Pompey down there at the moment as well, who are like getting like 20,000 every week and things like this. And obviously Leeds have gone down, come back up again. We've seen quite a few teams do it. Like Norwich, when they were in League One, would still get like 25,000 every week in League One, which is just incredible, really.
It's one of the few things that really makes me proud of football in this country.
Absolutely.
Strong football pyramid. You know, the fact it can't be replicated anywhere else. It's just wonderful to know that the level of support that fans have for lower league clubs as well as Premier League clubs is just amazing, absolutely amazing.
What's your best experience at a football? Like, what's the best time you've ever been at a football match?
interestingly enough, like I would have to say it was this past Saturday gone.
So that's quite nice then, that it feels so. Is it because it's fresh? Is it a bit of a honeymoon? Oh, I've just been, or was it genuinely like the best experience you've ever had?
I think I'll probably be still sitting there. I'd hope to be proved wrong, but I'd still probably sit there and think in 5 years' time I'll say it was Bury versus Millwall.
I mean, just for everyone else, imagine that. I mean, I've asked him what his best football experience is. He's gone, that Bury Millwall game was a cracker. But it was a comeback, wasn't it? It was like, was it the result that made it? Yeah.
It was. I mean, I've seen us lose thrillers, yet still, find them interesting. Despite they were devastating, still sit there and say it was, a cracking game, as a neutral would say. Yeah. Our playoff final loss to Scunthorpe was like that. We lost 3-2, but it was a topsy-turvy game. One of the best goals scored at Wembley in the modern era through Gary Alexander. It was an amazing game, but this was obviously the best experience because not only was it an amazing thriller, but we won it. We were 2-0 down, and we actually had a penalty in the first 10 minutes overturned by the Lino. So it was a really toxic atmosphere at 2-0 down. Harris wasn't playing, one of our sort of fans' favourite academy boys, Ben Thompson. It was a really toxic atmosphere, but when we came back from 2-0 down...
That doesn't sound like a Millwall game, does it? But, I mean, go on.
But when we came back from 2-0 down, we won a penalty. Their player got sent off for handball on the line. Shawnee Williams tucked it away. I think it was Butcher off the bench scored our equaliser with 10 minutes to go. And
Butcher.
The fans were giving it all to the Bury lot for messing up a 2-0. And then in the final seconds, Romeo, our right back, whipped it across the middle, and Aidan O'Brien, also off the bench, tapped in our winner, jumped in to the stands to celebrate with the fans. And it was just wonderful because it was just I always say this. I think this is the best way to win a football game. And some people disagree. They say, I prefer like a rout, for example, like a big win over a rival, like 6-0, 5-0 or something.
Spoiler alert, my best moment ever coming soon.
Right? I think I might know what it is. But for me, it's the best atmosphere, the best way to win a football game. When you're trailing, it seems like all hope is lost. It's devastation. And then out of nowhere, it's just a rally, a fight back. And winning it in the death, final moments, is just absolutely amazing. And yeah, it was amazing. And I'll probably say that was my best football experience. But I'm interested to hear what yours is then, if it is going to be a little bit different. I
mean, I don't know if I can top Bury Millwall, Joe. This might be a tough one.
It was a great game. It was brilliant.
I've probably got like a top 3 of just experiences of football matches. I used to ball boy at Norwich when I was younger. That was quite fun. So every time I did that was always like a bit of a moment because you'd go out first and sort of be in the tunnel with the players. You go out and sit on your little stool uncomfortably for 2 hours. That was great. Without pay, should clarify as well, Norwich. But there's a few that I've had at Wembley as well. I very recently saw Liverpool beat Barcelona 4-0, and it was a Barcelona that had Messi and Suarez. And just to see that happen in basically a Wembley, which was largely just full of Liverpool fans. There's probably 80. I think it was the second highest attendance ever at Wembley. There's 85,000 Liverpool fans singing "You Never Walk Alone," just being there in a moment where you're watching sort of the future team of this season that we've now seen play so well just dominate a Barcelona side. It was kind of like a 66% full Barca side. Like Neymar wasn't there. There's a few others that weren't there, but by and large, it was a pretty well strength side. Yeah. So just being there was cool. I also saw, like, this sounds a bit naff when you say the teams, but it was Liverpool-Cardiff in the Carling Cup final. They went 1-0 up. We came back in the second half, went to extra time. We scored again to make it 2-1. Then they came back in like the last sort of 118th minute. We then missed our first 2 penalties. Gerrard hit one, I think it was saved, and then Charlie Adam blazed one sort of into France. It was that bad. And then we came back and won our penalties. And I think Anthony Gerrard, I think it was, Steven Gerrard's cousin, missed the penalty, the decisive penalty. And that was another like moment, which was just, you couldn't believe it was happening in front of your eyes. And it was just, it was really, really good. It was really fun to just be there. Final experience, weirdly, the semi-final of the Olympics, when it was held here, it was Japan-Mexico. And I've never been at a football game like it in my entire life. It felt like, I don't know. It's strange. Everyone, no one supported anyone. It was just everyone was there, just enjoying every goal. And
the semi-final of the Olympics.
Yeah.
What stadium was this at?
Wembley again.
Really? Was it full?
It was absolutely, it was heaving. We sat right at the back as well, so you could see the entire ground. Annoyingly, I forgot my glasses and only had prescription sunglasses, so I just sat there at like the back of a dark Wembley in my prescription sunglasses, with people looking at me going, "Why is he wearing a sunglasses? How pretentious is this guy?" I'm thinking, I can see it all, but it looks like it's up there under the lights. It was, it was a nightmare. I was like watching it in the dark. But it was amazing just to be there. I wonder if anyone in the comments had been there. It was just strange. I've never been in a football ground where no one gave a stuff about who won. Like, no one cared. It was just like, goals are happening. And it was 4-2 as well, so there was loads of goals going in. I think Japan might have won, or Mexico. I mean, one of them won it. I can get that's for sure. But I can't remember which one. I can't remember who won it now. Worst experience. I don't really have a worst experience. Every football game's quite good. I mean, I've been to some dull games in my life that you just go and think, this is awful. Actually, no, I've got a worst experience. Do you want to hear that before we go on to yours?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was a ball boy at Norwich, and it was a championship game against Burnley, and it was probably December, sort of the 20th, and it was snowing pretty heavily. Now, when I ball boyed at Norwich in sort of the mid-2000s, it was pretty cold all the time, especially when it was snowing. And for those that have been to Carrow Road at Norwich, you'll know that there's a corner which is quite comically named the Snake Pit. That's where the ultras, the Norwich ultras, sit in the Snake Pit, and they sang the song "The Ball Boy's Got Snow on His Head" in a very jovial fashion, and right. I wasn't enjoying it. I can't. Do you know what? I've totally forgot. I've blanked on what tune they were singing it in now, but it was like a classic.
Ball Boy's Got Snow on His Head.
Yeah, I can't remember. This is awful. I've forgotten. But okay, I'll probably think of it in about 20 minutes' time, and I'll come in with it. But yeah, right. it was awful. But it was around the Christmas period. It was supposed to be a lovely time, but I just sat there frozen, and it was 0-0 or 1-1 or something. It was just horrible. It was not enjoyable.
I don't mind. I was gonna say I don't mind a dull 0-0. I mean, I went.
What do you mean? How boring does that sound?
Well,
Millwall, and he loves a 0-0. Everyone.
Hang on a second. When I say that, what I mean is I don't mind if the atmosphere is still good.
Okay. Yeah.
I went to a Manchester derby back in 2010. It's the worst Manchester derby I think of the modern era, possibly of all time. And it was at the Etihad, and it finished 0-0. And there was only one proper attempt, which Van der Sar saved for United from a free kick. But the atmosphere was still fantastic. I've always wanted to go to a Manchester derby. Obviously, now I live there, I could probably go to a couple more. The atmosphere was fantastic, and the City fans, I was in the City end, they were singing Blue Moon before the game. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And even if the game is poor, I still feel like the fans can make it an enjoyable experience for you. And that's how much I love football. You know, when the fans can really, the atmosphere that the fans create can still make you feel like it was worth the trip, it was worth the money, which is, a ridiculous amount these days. I still feel it's worthwhile. But for my worst experience, I mean, I could sit there and say a 0-0. I've seen Millwall play some absolutely dire games and just be awful.
No way.
Too many, I think.
I don't believe it.
One a couple of weeks ago at Bolton where we lost 2-0. But I think my worst experience...
Lovely ground.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Didn't make it quite as enjoyable, but I've seen us get hammered a few times. I think it was it might have been Borough actually a couple of years ago, or possibly Forest a couple of years ago, where we lost 4-0 at home. And there's, like I said a minute ago, there's nothing better than winning a football game from coming from an awful situation where you're in 2-0 down or whatever. Yeah. But when it is just awful for 90 minutes and you're losing, and we lost again. I think it was Borough or Forest 1-2. We lost 4-0. And when it was just at its peak of us getting torn apart and ripped apart at home, this is at the Den as well, it's just awful because it's embarrassing. It's like, this is the team you support, you spend so much money watching them play, and it just makes you reevaluate whether it's worth going again. But of course, you live for those games that are the best experiences, those 3-2 winners against Bury and the big victories against your rivals. And again, like playoff final wins, for example, v Swindon a few years ago. Those make it all worthwhile. And even though there are so many negatives about going to actually watch a football game, the cost is obviously such the biggest.
I'm sure that's sort of something we'll probably talk about in an upcoming podcast.
Yeah. I mean, you could spend about 5 minutes talking about just the actual cost of one ticket. I'd be on such a big rant, but the football experience just in general is just, for me, something which I'll never be able to get away from, even though sometimes I do feel like I may be losing a little bit of interest of it, especially because I went to more games as a teenager. I still love it so much, and I think I always will love football, and especially going and watch Millwall play as well.
Yeah, right. That's our sort of football chat. over with. Obviously, football period coming up in the old Christmas period as well. That's where there's so many games on TV and sort of just happening in general. I think Liverpool play about 5 in 3 days over the Christmas period. Obviously, that was a joke, Jay. That's not possible, but
No.
it's a lot anyway. But speaking of Christmas, we're in December. You know, are you feeling Christmassy yet?
Am I feeling? Well, yes, I think
How?
so. I feel as soon as the calendar ticks over to the 1st of December, as soon as it ticks over, it's Christmas time. As soon as you enter December, it's Christmas time. It's
Right.
Christmas time. This is the Christmas month. It's Christmas time. We only get it once a year. So, you know, I know some people just, you know, they badmouth Christmas or, Christmas decorations are up in Asda already. I love Christmas. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful.
People do get quite tribal about Christmas. Like, I hate Christmas. Well, it's not Christmas yet. It's November. People start hearing Christmas songs. It's bloody November. It's like, hang on, it's okay. It's fine. Just don't listen. Turn it off. Like, it's fine. You don't have to get involved if you don't want to yet. Wait a little bit. People get very angry about Christmas. People either love it, are totally indifferent about it, or just hate it. And I'm not. I'm sort of a bit like you. I quite like the old. I bought 2 Christmas jumpers, Jay.
Already.
Well, I've got a series coming out on youtube.com/drmengfm where I'm wearing Christmas jumpers.
Excellent. You're prepared.
I am prepared. They're fetching as well. I would describe them as fetching.
Is a Christmas jumper not been fetching? Is there one Christmas jumper in the world that's not fetching? I'm pretty sure there isn't.
I looked up Christmas jumpers, obviously, to purchase a few. There are some horrendous Christmas jumpers that should not be knitted or made or even in production. That are just sort of, you've not cared. There was one I saw, which was just basic white jumper with a gold star in the middle. It looked like it'd been made by a 4-year-old.
Right, well,
And it was £20 on Amazon, that was as well. I know. I only bought one of them. It was it was terrible. No, so in terms of Christmas, have you ever got anything good for Christmas?
Well, I'd say the best gift I receive from Christmas. Like, I have nice gifts year after year. For me, the best gift is just being around people that you care for. It sounds so trivial.
Was that raps?
No, but I think it's true. I don't look at the materialistic goods that I get. That's
what I want to know. I want to know if you've got something amazing before.
Okay, well, the best gift I've ever received, I think would probably be when I was about 6 years old, possibly, maybe a little bit older.
Right.
Me and my brother got a PS1 from my parents.
Yes.
Which was just amazing because growing up, we weren't exactly poor. We didn't have that much money, but my parents did well to get us a PS1. And it was, for the older viewers out there, they'll know what this means. It was chipped. It was a chipped PS1.
I mean, as someone that had a legitimate PlayStation 1, that annoys me. There'll be people out there, Jay, who had legitimate PS1s that had friends who had chipped games that I couldn't play on my PlayStation 1 because you chipped it. I was furious.
I am sorry, but, you know.
Do you know what? I don't really know. Why was it called chipped? Basically, for those that don't know, there'll be literally people that have no idea what we're talking about right now. A chipped PlayStation was where you would be able to just play copied versions of the game on discs that weren't legitimate. So basically, Jay broke the law. So
not me, my dad.
Okay,
my dad.
Jay's dad broke the law, and
I'm all right with that.
It's about time he came to justice, I think. And I think this podcast was the perfect platform to out your family as chippers. Because basically my cousin's chipped as well, and I didn't. So I went round in my games. They're like, "Oh yeah, you got a PlayStation." I'm thinking, "Can I borrow that?" "Oh no, I can't borrow that one because that doesn't seem legitimate."
No. We had it was CD cases, little CD cases you brought on the market, and you'd print out the cover art for it, slide it in there.
Absolutely sickening. I remember it well.
Oh dear.
But no, PlayStation. I got a PlayStation 1 when I was around 9, so probably the same year, like 99, probably around that.
Yeah, it was about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Rayman 2. Crash Bandicoot 2 as well. Crash Bandicoot. I used to have all those. International Track and Field.
Didn't have that one.
Or all of them. I used to love it. That was a great gift. Now you sort of touched on there that your greatest gift is like you've just been with family, things like this, being with people you love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, my best and worst is the same thing. Really, it revolves around last Christmas. Ironically enough,
right.
Best gift I've ever got for Christmas is my family went away for a week. Went to see the other family I've got, which was great. House to myself all Christmas. I'd never been happier. Genuinely.
Wow.
You get to a point where, while spending time with family is great, and I'm doing it this year, that I needed a year off. So so me and my girlfriend, we stayed at home, which was great. Saw her family over Christmas, which was nice. What ruined it though, Jay, and was probably the worst Christmas gift, was that my girlfriend was ill on Christmas Day.
Oh no.
So despite the fact we've been given this luxury of the house to ourselves and all this, having a lovely time. I sat and didn't have Christmas dinner until about 8 that evening when her mum brought it from her house and I microwaved it.
Well,
so
it's all right. It's quite nice. It's a nice gesture.
But it was like I was sat there watching the telly. She was sat in the chair next to me, just looking like death. I was thinking, this is just like this isn't what I pictured when they went, oh, do you want to? Because I think we were supposed to be going around there. We couldn't. We had to stay at home. Should be devastated that I've told this on the internet, but it was awful. Ruined my Christmas. So now every time anything happens or we bring up Christmas, she'll go, oh, you're looking forward to Christmas. What do you want? I'm going, forget it. You ruined last year, and I just annoy her every time. Every time she says anything, I'm just like, remember when you ruined Christmas? And she loves Christmas. There's no one that loves Christmas more than my girlfriend. So the fact that she ruined it is the worst thing that could have happened, so I don't let her forget it ever. I constantly let her know about it.
I mean, she didn't intentionally ruin it.
Well,
you should give her the benefit of the doubt.
But this Christmas, we'll all be sat round eating our Christmas dinner, and I'm going to look over it and go, "Remember when you ruined last year?" And she's just going to, there'll be tears pouring down her face. Honestly, I look forward to it, frankly. So that was kind of my best and worst. Have you got a moment that just stands out as this was awful?
Oh God!
Have you ever received any gifts that were bad? Because I always get links and I can't work out why. I've never written on it. You write your Christmas list, you send it off in the post.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever written links and shower gel?
No, I mean I don't remember just tagging on at the end either.
Neither have I. But for some reason, Grandma's got it for 10 years in a row. I'm always getting links and shower gel. It's like, oh, I've got you some lovely. Smell that, and then you're forced to open it and smell it. And she goes, oh, do you like the smell? Yeah, lovely, Grandma. Yeah, that just goes in the cupboard at the back with the other 10 bottles of shower gel that I haven't used yet because I buy my own. Funnily enough, I'm 26, Grandma. Stop buying me shower gel. I don't need it anymore.
You probably mentioned it once and she was like, oh, well, he did say he wanted that 5 years ago, so he probably needs another box.
Yeah, every time. I'm thinking, just a WH Smith's voucher will do. Like, I don't need this every year. Sorry.
No.
What's your worst one?
I
went off there. I got furious about Grandma's shower gel.
Well, I mean, I was going to mention a shower gel in the after show from my grandma, but I mean, maybe I'll leave that. You've already sort of done it. But the worst gift I think I've received, I've had a couple really, but for me, it's not a bad gift if there's thought into it. For me, that's how I always feel. I don't really mind too much, but I think it's when someone just buys something with basically no forethought of they either need it. It's there and it's cheap. It's like, for me, I do a lot of, research when I'm buying gifts for people. I want to make sure that it's what they want, it's what they need, and they're going to appreciate it. Even if it's not the exact type of thing they're looking for, Right. It's something that
I hate people
need.
like you. That caused our next door neighbour to get me some One Direction shower gel pens. So just gel pens, not shower gel pens. They're not out yet. I got some One Direction gel pens.
Right.
I was 23.
Well, One Direction are a good band. They got some good singles.
I agree, but I didn't need the equipment. It was the same when an auntie goes, "Oh, I've got your lovely notepad." I'm thinking I spend my life on a computer. Do you think I'm going to be writing it down? I don't sit here and go, right then, Microsoft Word. Actually, 2012. I've got a notepad over there that hasn't been used yet. Let's give it a go. Never do I think that. At no point.
Well, I think that's quite similar to the worst gift I received then, because my family know that I'm very technological and I can do for myself everything on my phone.
They got you a CD-ROM.
Well, my aunt bought me a portable radio, and I was thinking,
yes.
Right, okay, well, obviously I could use the TV, the Mac, or my phone.
Spends 95% of his time in the same room, but you got your portable radio.
A portable radio, just in case he moves to the other room, but can't turn up loud enough on the computer. So she got me a portable radio. But the thing that she thought would separate this from a normal gift was that it was a shower radio, and I was like,
oh yeah, well, okay, take it back. You could use that with the gel you got.
Exactly. It's a nice combination.
Brilliant.
So I was thinking, it's brilliant. It's a shower radio.
Oh.
Only problem was she bought it off the market. So I mean, I should have expected it was going to be that great.
Yeah.
It broke after a couple of uses, and I couldn't figure out why it was. It just wouldn't turn on anymore.
Hold on.
Turns out it wasn't waterproof.
Brilliant.
So I don't know how you could call it a shower radio if it wasn't waterproof.
Well, what I'd like to think's happened here, Jay, is that she's seen a radio on Amazon Prime. She's gone, I'll get him that. That is a bargain. She's brought it home. She's gone, oh, it's not bloody. I was going to use this for a shower radio. So what she's done, created her own sticker because someone got her. I don't know if you've ever seen these before, but you can get like sticker makers. Luckily, she got one of those last year from your auntie. So other aunties got her a sticker maker. Which I don't know. I always see sticker makers. I've never seen the products of sticker makers, but people in my family just get them. And that she stuck on it, shower radio, stuck it on the thing. You've got it. Opened it up, lovely. Put it in the shower. Just a normal radio, Jay.
But this is the thing. I don't think that it was even a shower radio. She just tried to kid me because it wasn't like it wasn't in a package or anything. It was just wrapped up in a little crepe paper, and obviously the wrapping paper. And she said, "Oh, it's a shower radio. You can hang it on the hook." And I was like, "Oh, brilliant! Thanks, Aunt. Cheers, appreciate it." 2 days and it broke. And I said to my dad, "I said, well, the radio's not turned on, Dad. You know, it's because my dad's quite good at fixing stuff. So, the radio's not turned on." He goes, "Yeah, I don't think it's a shower radio. I think it's just a normal portable radio."
I'd like to think you got it in the shower. You were like, "I'm going to test the shit out. Let's see how waterproof you are." Just spraying it down.
All over.
Yeah, like you're part of the fire brigade. Go, let's get this. Let's put this out. Giving it a great treatment, and then it's not working anymore. It seems to have bugged out.
She asked a few months ago. She said, "How's the radio bought you for Christmas?" I was like, "Yeah, it's great. It's great, Aunt. It's working well. Appreciate it. I mean, on every single morning I get in the shower, it's brilliant. Yeah. Still works fine."
Yeah, suddenly it's just outside of the curtain these days because it's not waterproof. But never mind. No, I like that. I just like the fact you've been conned. She knew it wasn't. She knew.
I know.
I'd like to think that if you'd have asked her that week, like sort of that week, you'd have rung her up and gone, "Auntie, you know that shower radio you got me? I didn't get you a shower radio. It was just a normal radio." "What? But the sticker." "Oh, I can't believe this." So yeah,
she was crafty.
It's a shame. Right, well, that was some quite nice for Christmas chat. We might do it again every week in the build up to Christmas. We will need some more Christmas chat. But I think as far as main topics go for the first episode of Artificial Intelligence, I think that probably brings us to the end, Jay.
Yeah,
you happy enough for that?
Yeah, no, I think that was good. I like the topics, and I think if we do this a regular basis, 2 topics each time, I think just have a nice feel to it. So
I would love people in the comment section to suggest things for us to talk about next week. If they could, that'd be nice.
Absolutely. Great idea.
This is going up every Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll be posting this every Friday afternoon, or possibly in the evening sometime. And I think with each passing episode, obviously you being the alpha male, which we decided now, you'll be appearing on a regular basis. So I think, once a week on Fridays, something to look forward to for the weekend as a podcast. Yeah. And hopefully one day, my long-term goal is to try and get it on iTunes. I don't know exactly how to do that.
I mean, we could just do that anyway. It's not like a special club.
Right.
Yeah. We could do it maybe not next week, but if people like it and there's enough sort of love for it, I'm saying, okay, I'll say right now, if it hits 5,000 likes, we'll get it on iTunes next week.
5,000 likes for iTunes next week?
Sure.
That is a bold statement to make.
You'll have to pay for that. Yeah. If you've enjoyed this episode, then do leave a like. Let us know in the comment section as well what you thought. What was your best Christmas present? Worst football experience? Give us a combo, and we'll read some of the best ones out next week. I think. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely. I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
Great. You can follow Jay on Twitter at Doclanders. I'm
that's correct.
At Dr. Benji No FM, but on YouTube Dr. Benji FM for all the best Football Manager content coming to you in this year and 2017. Do you like it?
FM?
No, my videos.
Oh, well, I mean,
Would you recommend them to your 300,000 subscribers?
300,000?
What is it now?
170,000.
Look, it's give or take. Do you recommend them?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the best thing about Ben is that if you wanted to watch someone play the game and have a laugh, he's the best person for it. He's with my content, a lot of it is about the gameplay. With Ben, you get to know his character. He's definitely someone who I'd say is the most entertaining FM YouTuber.
That's very kind. That's very kind.
No problem.
Thanks.
Do you want to reciprocate the love at all? Do you want to reciprocate the love?
Yeah, I enjoyed that Football Manager series you did. That was a good one.
Thanks. Yeah, cheers. I mean, that was a small percentage of videos I've done.
Yeah, best one though. Best one. Some of your thumbnails have been good as well, especially the ones that I did. Right then, that does wrap up the first episode. Thanks for having me on, Jay. Appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem, mate. I'm looking forward to next week.
Do you want to end this with just a goodbye?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching the first episode. Obviously, this is something I've never done before, so I was quite nervous to produce it. But hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, then please do leave a like and show some support in the comment section down below. Don't forget to get involved with the questions we asked today, but also just let us know general feedback, how we did and what we can do to improve as well. I had a lot of fun doing the podcast though for the first episode, and every Friday I'll be coming to you a new episode, and hopefully you'll enjoy those as well. So thank you very much for coming to watch the podcast, and thank you, Ben, for coming on.
With love, with care, from me, Dr. Benji. Until next time.
And we'll see you for the next episode of Artificial Intelligence next Friday.
Ooh. So how much do I get paid for this?
Nothing.